A reception of foreigners could have been better, I suppose.
Dating culture in Denmark is really bad.
The housing is a huge problem.
People are very close.
Taxes and the tax system.
A lot of things going on in the public school system.
Denmark has this reputation of being almost perfect. So today I'm in the streets of Copenhagen talking to Danes and foreigners and asking them one simple question. What is one aspect of life in Denmark that is not as perfect as people might think?
Danish people are just like very closed off.
When you come here, especially as a foreigner, I think that there's a lot of people who find it super hard to actually engage in the society that we have.
I think maybe about like social life, at least in Copenhagen. Like I don't really, well, I talk a little bit with my neighbors, but I don't think that it's a very common thing to do. And people are kind of like sometimes closed off in their circles. And yeah, that's something that I'm thinking about, like maybe move out of this Copenhagen and find somewhere else to live where there's a bigger like social circle.
After that, I started hearing the same thing again from people my age and from people who lived here their entire lives.
Depends on what kind of people you're talking about, I suppose. A reception of foreigners could have been better, I suppose. That would be one thing. We have also problems of recruiting enough hands for instance, the social services, and foreigners help out, and we should be more grateful for that.
Up until this point, everything people mentioned was social. How hard it can be to break into circles, how closed things can feel. But the more I listened, the more it became clear that it wasn't just about people. There were parts of the system itself that made life here more complicated than the reputation suggests.
I definitely say the housing is a huge problem. Like I've been moving 4 times in the last 4 years, I think. And you don't really get like evicted, but the rent just rises all the time. And if you're studying like me, then it's difficult to keep up. So yeah, housing definitely.
Awesome. And do you think that there's do you see an easy solution to that?
Yeah, I mean, the problem is that you let big companies buy the houses and raise the rent. And they even let some of the apartments be like not used to put the prices up and make the demand even greater. The state should just buy the houses and let everyone live and have a place to stay without getting ruined. I don't think that's an unfair wish to have.
Yeah, I mean, sorry to go there, but I'm going to have to say dig into the taxes and the tax system. Being a business owner, I get a little bit offended at the high tax rate. I mean, only because I'm on a partnership visa, I don't actually get any of the benefits of. I get the healthcare stuff, the medical stuff, but I don't get any of the schooling or the dental or any of that stuff. So that hurts. But yeah, the taxes kill me, especially being the business owner and paying all the salary tax, pay tax on my own salary, pay tax on 25% of everything I'm buying, everything I'm selling. The government are getting, so tax kills me.
One of the most unexpected perspectives came from a teacher, someone who'd spent their entire career inside the system, shaping the minds of Denmark's next generation. What he shared caught me off guard.
Well, I've lived in Denmark for 28 years. Moved here when I was 12, and I am a teacher. There's a lot of things going on in the public school system that is not necessarily too good regarding funding. I think there's a lot of things in Denmark where definitely could be better for teachers and for students for that matter. Things have gone drastically downhill in regards to support for children in the classrooms. This could be children that have challenges in classrooms and adapting to classroom society and how to handle themselves or how to learn. But it could also be for students that actually do manage these competencies and perhaps need to challenge themselves academically. And over the past many years, the funding for sports in these classrooms has diminished drastically, so much so now that many newly educated teachers are coming out of the school system as teachers, happy and ready to get started, and are actually more or less stopping after 2 or 3 years, mainly because it's a lot of pressure to have on them to be able to accommodate every individual children's needs.
What surprised me the most wasn't that Denmark has problems, it was how rarely people talk about them. From the outside, everything looks almost perfect, and in many ways, it is. But once you listen closely, you start to hear the pressure points, the social limits, the systems that work well but not equally for everyone. The gap between reputation and lived experience is something you only really notice once you stop looking at the rankings and start listening to the people who live here.